Sky Nation, what's poppin'? Crazy Dog coming at you once again on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel with my Ohio State Buckeyes, Illinois Fighting Illini Week 7 game preview as our still number one ranked, undefeated, 5-0 Ohio State Buckeyes are back on the road this week as they face off against the 17th ranked, 5-1 Illinois Fighting Illini, who have all of a sudden, over the last couple of years, under Brett Bielema, turned into an actually solid football team, right? Before Bielema got there, I mean, they'd be good every once in a while, but for the most part, they were kind of a bottom feeder. Bielema gets there, and all of a sudden, they've actually turned out pretty good. I remember a couple years ago, they were fighting for one of the top spots in the Big Ten, along with Ohio State and the team up north and them, and they were close, right? Yeah, they've had some pretty good years. So got to give a lot of credit to Coach Bielema and the staff over there for turning Illinois into an actually solid team. Good job, right? Of course, you look at their schedule so far. You know, they're 5-1, like I said. They smoked Western Illinois. They beat Duke, blanked Western Michigan, and then as they got into Big Ten play, they got absolutely skull dragged by Indiana, 63-10. And you look at what happened in that game. Oh my God! Indiana sacked Luke Altmaier 7 freaking times. And on the flip side, Fernando Mendoza, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He only had 2 incompletions. He went 21 of 23. Wow. Talk about beating the soul and the will to live out of somebody. My God. Just like I said with Illinois, man. Coach Signetti has turned Indiana into something else, too. Wow. I love it, though, right? More competition for us and Oregon on that, right? Good to see these other teams, rise to the occasion, right? Hopefully they can keep it consistent, especially as other universities will be looking to poach them because, they're playing for like middle tier teams. If a top tier job opens up, wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Signetti dip and go elsewhere, but I think he's loved in Indiana, so we'll see what happens there. Getting back to this game, of course, believe it or not, this is the first time since 2015 that the Buckeyes are traveling to Champaign, Illinois. And we've only played these guys one other time since 2015, and that was in 2017. We were supposed to play in 2020, but that game was axed due to the sickness. Now, there was a period where we played Illinois every year from 2011 all the way up till 2015. You can even include 2010 as well. Actually, you can go back even further than that. 2008, well, no, 2005, 6, 07, 08, 09, and then, of course, 2010, which was negated. Although I've talked about how it's possible that that game could get reinstated because I've seen that there are discussions ongoing to reinstate the wins from that season. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, there was a time where we played Illinois every year. And now all of a sudden we barely play these guys. Ohio State is on a 6-game win streak against Illinois. And overall, we are 68, 30, and 4 against the Illini all time. Of course, Illinois' last win came in 2007 in Columbus when Juice Williams and Rashard Mendenhall went into the shoe and shocked everybody. Yeah, remember that name? Juice Williams? Rashard Mendenhall? How about Aurelius Ben? Wow. Yeah. How about that, right? Now, for any newcomers who are just discovering college football, discovering this matchup, you may be shocked to know that there is indeed a trophy at stake in this game. It's called the Illibuck. Now, first off, you hear the name and you're thinking, is it like a tree? Is it a Native American inspired trophy? No, no. It's a freaking turtle. Now, I don't really know where they came up with a turtle. I'd have to really dig deep into the history of the Illibuck trophy. But yeah, pretty interesting, right? A team named after a nut and a team named after a Native American tribe play for a trophy that's a freaking turtle called the Illibuck. Okay. Now, diving right into the keys to victory for Ohio State. And I'm going to keep it simple. Number one, you're on the road, so set the tone on offense and defense, but mainly offense, right? You get the ball first, you move on down the field, and you score a touchdown. You set the freaking tone for this game, right? Number two, on defense, force mistakes. It's important to note that Luke Altmaier, I believe, has not thrown an interception yet this year. Yeah. Now, in that Indiana game, like I said, Indiana sacked him 7 times. And keep in mind, our pass rush has been really good this year, right? Of course, our leading sack getter is still Caden Curry with 5. So maybe this is a game where he really goes off. That'd be cool. We'll see if Kenyatta Jackson plays. But if he doesn't, some names to keep an eye on. Will Smith Jr., Bissattenley, and of course, Zion Grady. And also you have Caden McDonald in the middle as well. Jaquez Carter, might see more of him, right? Like I said, though, this defense has some straight up animals on it. Some guys that you don't really hear about. But maybe this is the game where they make themselves known, right? That'd be cool. Especially from the freshmen. I would love to see the freshmen go out there and wreak havoc. Zion and Epi and all those guys. Oh, that would make me so happy. For sure. But yeah, force mistakes. Force Luke Altmaier to throw that first interception. Knowing Matt Patricia, he's going to cook up a nice game plan against Altmaier to try to confuse him, make him think something's happening when in reality it's not. Bluff him, make him throw the ball to who he thinks is an open receiver, only to have a corner or a safety zoom on in there and pick it off. Oh, that would be great. Bait him. Yeah. Bluff and bait. Yeah. It's a good way to put it. Yeah. Bluff him and bait him. Yeah. That's how I'll say it. Number 3, eliminate the crowd. Right? Take the crowd out of the game. I mean, do essentially what Indiana did. Right? Just score on every possession and shut them down. Right? Simple as that. Most importantly, get through this game healthy because this is essentially the start of our gauntlet stretch. You have Illinois this week, tough game on the road. Next week, you go to Camp Randall to face Wisconsin in a middle afternoon game, 3:30. Then you have a bye week to catch your breath. And then you get Penn State at home. Man, this is going to be fun. Now, as far as like boom watches and such are concerned, I did change up things a little bit. Boom watches still for class of 2026. I have Landry Brady, of course. And then Kamari Bing, who recently decommitted from Maryland. We did get a prediction on 247 for him, but he's not deciding until National Signing Day, which is still like 2 months away. So there's a lot of time for things to happen there. Class of 2027, you still have Ronaldo Perez, tackle Davis Seaman, and then Mason Wilt, as well as others as well. And then in terms of no crystal ball yet, class of 2027, 4-star tackle Quay Ford, 4-star running back Caden Way, and one of the top tight ends in the country in 4-star tight end Brock Williams. And then I also have a keep an eye on section for potential flips. 4-star edge rusher Dre Quinn, who recently decommitted from Clemson. And then you have the two guys who were surprise visitors last week against Minnesota. 4-star O-lineman Micah Champ-Smith, who is committed to UCLA. And then 4-star running back Amari Latimer, who is currently committed to Wisconsin. I do like the vibes surrounding Amari Latimer, though. It really sounds like he's going to hopefully, flip and be a Buckeye at some point. It sounds like Ohio State was originally just going to have one running back, but with Favour Key having injury issues and not really looking all that great so far, they decided, you know what? We're going to go for 2 running backs in this class. So they've really been trying to go after Amari Latimer a lot more. And of course, you have Dre Quinn, who they've been after for a minute now. And we'll see what happens there. So that's all I got for that. Not much there, with it being a road game, of course. Now, players to watch. On offense, I'm going Max Clare and the tight ends. Because, they're going to try and eliminate our receivers, which is always a very tough task. Because, you try to double cover one, another one's going to get open. This is where Max Clare really needs to have a big game, right? We need that. From Max, from Will, Bennett Christian, maybe Jelani Thurman, right? Those guys. We need them to really show out this week. Because, they're going to get opportunities. By the way, I still can't stop thinking about that catch that Max made last week. Right? Julian's in the pocket, ready to take a whack, because there was a defender coming right at him, full speed, ready to lay him out. He stays in the pocket, throws a dart, takes a whack, take a big ass hit, got whacked, right on the money to Max Clare. And the thing is, if he only had another 5 seconds, Jeremiah Smith was wide ass open at the top. Even if he did, I don't think he would have been able to get the ball to him because there was a defender coming right at him. I'm just happy he got that ball off to Max Clare, who went up and made a great catch. And then on defense, I'm going with the D-line. Because, as I mentioned before, Indiana sacked Luke Altmaier 7 freaking times. And if you ask me, I think our D-line is superior to Indiana's. They don't have the dudes that we do. Man, I feel like if we put up that kind of number against these guys, there's at least a couple turnovers in there. A strip sack, sack fumble, maybe a tip pass interception. There's something in there. And knowing this D-line, they're going to try and get after it, for sure. Now, as far as my prediction goes, you're not going to believe this. I actually have Illinois scoring a touchdown. We've given up 2 touchdowns this entire year. Ooh. It's crazy. When you really sit back and look at what we've done this year, we've given up 2 touchdowns the entire season. Lost to Texas. Again, that one really shouldn't have counted. Because if you ask me, the ball really wasn't, if he wasn't fully possessing the ball. In Ohio, who scored a touchdown on the first drive of the second half. Washington had a couple chances. They couldn't punch it in. And Minnesota really only had their opening drive. And they were held to a field goal. Man, if they hold Illinois out of the end zone, this defense is legit. And I'm telling you right now, this keeps up. This keeps up. There's no way a freaking team in the NFL isn't going to be looking at Matt Patricia like, come here. Hey, Matt Patricia, come here. You, with the pencil in your freaking ear. Come here. Teams are going to be salivating looking at this. I'm fine with our guys getting big time jobs like that. That's why I really wasn't mad when Chip Kelly left. Because that should be the goal, right? You get into college ball and you're going to attract attention from NFL teams, especially when you win a national championship and your offense looks like it did. Jim Knowles, though, wanted more money. What happened? Goes to freaking PSU, pretty stinky university. And yeah, how'd that go? Lose to Oregon in the whiteout. And then you go out west to the Rose Bowl facing a horrible UCLA team that fired their coach with Nico at quarterback. And you let them drop 40 on your head? You really sit back and think, damn, Nico got his revenge on Jim Knowles. Yeah, he got his revenge. Good for Nico. Can't wait for Nico to come to the shoe so we can bust his ass again. Because that's what's going to happen. Man, it happens. Buckeye fans are going to be looking at Jim Knowles thinking, see what we did. Couldn't do that, but we did. The mighty pencil. Fear the pencil. You know what? This keeps up. This keeps up from Matt Patricia. I'm going to start putting the pencil in my ear. Be like Matt Patricia. Mighty pencil. Yeah. Love what I've been seeing from Coach Patricia, though. A lot of people got on Ohio State fans for that hire. Like, you hired Matt Patricia. He stinks. You know, we only have one of the top defenses in the nation, giving up 2 touchdowns all year. Now, as far as my prediction this week, like I said, unfortunately, I do have Illinois scoring a touchdown, but I have the Buckeyes winning 35-13. So, yeah, it happened. And he's going to give up touchdowns. But we'll see, though. So, yeah, I think Ohio State's offense pretty much stays in like second, third gear. They don't really, turn up like we know they can. They essentially just keep it chill, and slowly but surely, Ryan Day's starting to let Julian Sane let it rip a little bit more. I already know come, November, Julian will be letting that thing rip like crazy. Man, if that starts against Penn State, November 1st at home, Julian just goes out there and just lets that thing rip. Oh my God. Watch out. But yeah, that's all I got for this one, guys. So if anything else comes out, like recruiting wise, I'll have a video for it. It's been kind of quiet on the recruiting trail in terms of booms for Ohio State. I thought we would have gotten a couple booms after these games, but yeah, it's been crickets. It's been crickets. Because remember last year, there was a couple games where, like, literally right after the game, we got a couple commitments. Remember that? I think Jaden Ricketts was one of them last year. Happened a couple times. That was fun. End the game. I come on Twitter and boom, commitment. It's like, oh. Or like right after the game, you'd look on 3 or 247, you'd see like crystal balls placed. Like, oh, haven't really seen that. So I'm sure that'll get going here as we get later into the season. Of course, as we get closer to signing day, then you're really going to start seeing that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. And as always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell. I'll be live on the main channel, Crazy Dog Sports, for this game tomorrow. Should be fun. And also Red River rivalry tomorrow. I'll be watching that after our game for sure. But yeah, so with that being said, as always, I'm Crazy Dog coming at you on the fucking Crazy YouTube channel. And let's take care of business tomorrow, shall we? Go Bucks. I'm Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buck and Crazy YouTube channel. OH. I'm out. Bye. Yeah.